All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into our communities on our community focus segment of the show. Now, the typical road challenges are back. Of course, it's not as if they went anywhere. And so today we want to go back to the Ashanti region, and we're looking at an area of interest, Suame. Now, there are a lot of road challenges in the Suame area, and we have our colleague Edward Mafo, who has put together this report. Let's take a look.
Residents last week organized a demonstration and called on authorities to ensure work resumes on the Suame Maakro stretch. The inhabitants in recent times have had a number of protests to impress on authorities to resume work on the road. After last Thursday's demonstration by the inhabitants in the area over the poor nature of a portion of the road, work has now resumed. It is in view of this that a member of parliament for Suame, Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, decided to visit the area and wanted to address the residents on the project. The residents did not receive this well and then started hooting at the MP and the MCE and threw various items at them. Some residents in the area have been speaking to City News on why they attacked their member of parliament.
Odru post office ni said na no ye din na wo say oya de ba de wo jai wo sign na chi ni wan sign na chi ene ye de ne call ya kwa ase wonti ase wo de sa breakdown for mu wo de in fact papa na mfa ni ize ye dru ase ho no ho na wo mu tu nsuo hia no ensu a wo mato abo papa ne ne no nyansu ketua obu hie ya de kwa share dan bi bu nku owura magazine inside one wo hwe nipa na epu ba na baba be hia no ne de we amusi toto ne ma okwan ni mu na ontimi nwura oti na o se ye fa de ne kwa share dan bi mu e wo commercial bank bi wo ase ho ne ye de ne kwa share dan bi mu ho na ho no kra no ensuo pa no o mu tuwura ho no na nyensu ke 20 na afa ne mitimi nyina ho na eya mare ho na se da wase aye din na ho kra sa aye mmobo na me di free wa me de ba adwuma but ye sre wo mo omo ma ne ma mra fom
akwani no ba na masa so ka se oba be hwe ayi omo etu omo aso akohe akodi nko mo wase etu okoye program no so mpawie a o si abasra ko no e no so no ofa fom no wa hwe se da kwan so ye de esitie to aba be du takwa e no mo sha se tu su ade buru no se aliti ya omo ya be tu kwa no o hwe no mo ya kwa no mo di so la buru ma na ko ya se obo no wa no fa so la bo wa ya e so pro ba fa so akwa ko she so.
The member of parliament was locked in a room for hours to prevent the angry residents from attacking him. The leader of the traders, who doubles as the Ashanti Regional Chairman of the Ghana Union of Traders Association, GUTA, Anthony Opon, apologized to the member of parliament and the municipal chief executive for the area following the attack. After escaping the attack from the irate youth, the member of parliament for the area, Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, addressed the media where he assured that efforts are being put in place to complete work on the road as early as possible.
I'm the face of government. So if they are really angry that it's been a while since the scraping of the surface and dust is killing them, certainly when they see any government official, they will vent their spleen on the person. So I'm not worried. I need to explain to them. Maybe when the difficulty happened, we should have had an avenue to have engaged them earlier. If we had engaged them earlier, I believe this wouldn't have happened. The contractor started work. Unfortunately, midway, he experienced acute shortage of bitumen. And having waited for about 2 weeks, he had to undertake to go to La Côte d'Ivoire to procure bitumen in order to be able to complete the works that he has started. We've spoken to the contractor who has, as I said, been able to procure the bitumen, and within the next couple of days is coming to complete what he has started. That is the reshaping of the road and the application of another overlay of asphalt. So in the next 3 days, the hope is that we'll begin applying the asphalt, and hopefully, let's say the next 2 weeks or 3 weeks, you should be able to finish with it.
As construction works have resumed on this stretch, the residents and other persons who work within this area are calling on authorities to ensure that work is completed as early as possible.
All right, so that was our colleague Edward Opong-Mafo, our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, who brought us that report from Suame. And he's actually joined us on the line this morning as well. Good morning, Edward.
Good morning, Koki.
Thanks for joining us on Breakfast Daily. Were you surprised by the reaction of the residents of Suame to the presence of their MP and MCE and how they reacted that day?
Well, Koki, I must say that I wasn't surprised at all. And that's because of the kind of comments that we have been hearing from the people. That's in the past few days that they've been organizing series of demonstrations. But anytime we get to the area, and we're even interviewing, the people, you see, we try to talk to random people, and it's not as if you know that this person is angry, or you just see someone just walking around, you try to talk to the person, and based on how the person reacts, you get to know that indeed the people are very, very angry. And at times, even in their reports, because they are not live, we're able to catch some portions, because they tend to use unprincipled words, they threaten that they are going to attack, some insult, so we just have to cut some from it and all that. So I wasn't really surprised, because it looks like that's bottled up for some time. They feel they deserve more, but they are not getting it from the authorities. And you see, when the area that the issue happened, the Suame area, and then Suame Magazine Enclave, it's an area that people have always talked about a number of things. And this road construction, there's a portion that people have been complaining about which triggered this action. It's just a trigger. There are a lot of concerns that the people within the area keep raising. Aside from the road, there have been numerous promises that government is going to ensure that the entire Suame Enclave becomes an industrial hub for automobile companies and other things. So the people there will really see some kind of upgrade. They've always had meetings with them, promising them that, well, they are going to reshape it, they are going to make the area better and all that. There have been a number of promises, and all these promises have not been fulfilled. And if you look at just the Suame roundabout area too, there have been a number of promises by government that they are going to construct the Suame interchange, and so it's something that they told the people were expecting more. And coincidentally, in the 2021 budget, which was also presented, it was presented by their own MP, the majority leader, and he read in it that they are going to come up with some other projects that will help the people, the artisans there. And so they said they were going to have the Wankrak inland port. And you see the artisans at the Suame Magazine, they complain a lot. They talk about the fact that they always have to spend more by getting their the various things that they use there from the Tema port. So their goods, getting it at the higher port and all that. It's not that the Wankrak inland port was the best way to help them. And so they were so excited about it, and also coming from their own MP, they thought that was something that was going to help them. And it appears nothing is coming. There's no communication to that effect as to why that is happening. And once these issues came up, they thought there was a need to talk about it. And they link it with a number of things. They feel that the Ashanti region in general is not giving the attention that it deserves from the government. Because the government promised that some interchange that I talked about. It talked about the making the whole enclave an industrial city, and get closer to the place. You not go too far. If you use that stretch from the Suame area, you move towards the Sofo line side. Governor has also promised that, in fact, work started on the Sofo line interchange. It started during former President Kufuor's time, and for a very long time, that stretch, that interchange has not really been completed. They always talk about completing it, but that has not been done. That is not all. They talk about the Angloka Junction too. And all these ones are linked. Angloka Junction interchange. These ones have also not been done. So it looks like they don't really, they can't boast of one major thing that is that, oh, this is what the government has done for us within this period. And so they feel this is the time we have to just show them that indeed we're angry. And looking at what happened yesterday, personally, I wasn't surprised at so quickly.
Wow. Okay. All right, Edward, I think we'll touch base with you later, and I'm sure you'll keep us posted on development in the region, especially with this particular road. And as the Honorable Minister and MP said, that the contractor just had to sort out some bitumen shortage issues. So we'll see. We'll keep watching and see if indeed the work on the road continues. All right. Thanks, Edward.
You're welcome.
Okay, that was Edward Opong-Mafo, our Middle Belt Bureau Chief, just giving us an update and more insight into what happened in Suame regarding Honorable Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, who is also the Minister for Parliamentary Affairs and the MP for the area, where he and the MCE were attacked when they went to inspect work on that road. Right, let's also say good morning to the host of Footprints on City TV, Samuel Atamensa, who has joined us for our discussion this morning.
Not a good day for such a man.
Samens, how are you?
I'm well. Yourself?
Good, good. Oh,
It's
we're
good
all
to have
right,
you
thank you.
About that weekend.
Charlie.
The uncle
What is-
refers to him as Suame Mugabe.
Yeah, I mean, that's if you stay too long in a particular place, at least you can earn yourself these types of names. So, Suame Mugabe is not bad.
I think at one point the speaker was Kaleo Mugabe or something like that. That's I think that's some Albert Bagby when he was an MP.
I mean, from '97 up until now is a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time.
I'm sure you're not surprised, though, by the reaction of the people.
Why? It's funny.
Why, though, from your perspective?
But what they're doing is funny.
Oh, Papa.
You know, but I hear, angry mob. They're not angry. I don't, they are not angry. They're just excited.
Really?
And I use the word excited, not happy.
Yes.
Not excited, not that happy.
Okay.
It's agitation.
Yeah.
Okay,
You know,
agitated.
not angry. I mean, look, this place is magazine. That's Suame magazine.
Yeah.
And they have implements.
Yes, exactly.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
So I
reaching out
So they could
to
have-
the
very
next
easy.
implement is the easiest thing they could have done if indeed
They were
they
actually
wanted to, cause him harm.
Yeah.
They just wanted to make a statement that, look, we are not happy.
Fair enough.
And if you know the geography of this place that they're talking about, so it's a long stretch. It's a long stretch from Suame roundabout where the police station is. There's actually a police station there. Suame police station is just at the roundabout. Stretches through Magazine all the way to Maakro. Now, you see, the makeup of the traders there, you would assume that they all live there. No. These are people drawn from different parts of the Kumasi metropolis who ply their trade here. So you have in the core artisans, mechanics, and related businesses. And then food service providers and related businesses. Now it stretches, it's a long stretch. And within the enclave, again, you have old Suame, you have new Suame, you have Busheng, you have Maakro, and all the other suburbs around. And they all feed off trading in this area. So the least disruption in their lives affects a lot of people. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, listen to Ekwe Asewa, who was speaking. Now, she said that this man has promised us on many occasions and hasn't delivered.
Yes.
One. Now, Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu comes to address issues regarding the construction of the road, meaning that he still didn't have a clue why the people were protesting. Because he goes explaining issues to do with delayed construction. The people too are talking about the hustles that they are going through across board. Now, my first suggestion is that the Honorable Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu should not consider himself as a candidate to run for the next election. I mean, that's the first advice, that he should not. Reasons are obvious, but one key reason is, look, he's one of the most honorable members of parliament that we have been blessed with in this country, I'm telling you. From 1997 up until today, we have never heard anything negative about his conduct or any corruption or anything about this man. So I'm just saying that he's such a good example of, and remember when he was contesting for the elections, Abambagbin and all the NDC people went to support him. Now that should tell you something. And it's just as well, when the applause is high,
leave when the applause is loudest. It's true.
You know, I just think that he should bow out honorably, because frankly, the elements of development are not under his control.
Which is why initially I thought, but why are they venting this thing at him? But
you don't blame them.
You can't blame them. Yes, you can.
Because when you want the position, you go and promise them that you bring development.
And then he had the, should we say, unfortunate circumstance of having presented that budget, which actually specifically mentioned development in Suame. So, hearing it from his mouth.
The culture in areas like Suame, very interestingly, is quite homogeneous. The thinking, everybody thinks the same way. I'm telling you. Everybody, if they are like this. If we all don't like it, we all don't like it. And in Suame, if I see you, I don't have to necessarily know you from anywhere. We start chatting just like that, and we go on. This is Suame for you. I mean, I did my growing up in Suame, so I know Suame very well. Well, they're just going to do what do you call it, an astroturf in the division park. So I'm a division park. Those of you who are listening, astroturf is an old football park that has never seen grass in the last 80 years.
Sakura Park.
Charlie, you see rocks on the table. Every day people are playing. So, but clearly the goodwill is lost. And the earlier they make some interventions, the better. And not just the construction. That would be an error. It's not just the road construction. It's a lot of things. How we promised to facelift the Suame magazine, which has not happened. And thousands of lives depend on Suame magazine for their daily bread. So if we promise them and we don't deliver as promised, there will be agitations. Now, another issue, my observation is that we should also commend the police.
True.
We should commend the police for how they handled this thing. Because it could have been something else.
It could have.
And for politicians, let's stop taking people for granted. Guess what? If this were in South America somewhere, where there's, free distribution of guns on the streets, it would have been another story.
Could have easily.
It would have been another story. So the degree of taking for grantedness should come down. When we promise, we should supervise the promise until it's delivered. Now, supervising of the promise means that you may not have all the resources, but you are deliberately marking time and communicating your challenges to the people so that they will understand they are human beings. again, if Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu had a regular habit of visiting this constituency, I don't think the crowd reaction would have been this bad.
Yeah.
Okay, on that note, Summons, now we know that he's the Minister of Parliamentary Affairs.
Yeah.
He recently spoke on the number of ministers we currently have, and he, in his opinion, suggested it should be reduced to 19 or so. He thinks government is too big. Do you think that the additional responsibilities of being a minister when you're a member of parliament could also be a factor in the lack of engagement with constituencies?
Koki, it may well be, but between you and I and him, he will know better. he is in a better place to understand what it takes to be a minister and a
MP.
member of parliament. You understand?
It's
There are so many things wrong with the construct of our politics.
Yeah.
So many things wrong. But because it suits certain people, nobody is prepared to engage the system to cause the needed changes. And that's where we are now. So many things wrong. If you go to, anyway.
Yeah, we'll delve further into it, but we have Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu on the line. He's a resident of Suame, and I want to hear from him firsthand. Kofi, good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yes, welcome to Breakfast Daily.
Thank you, sir.
All right, so talk to us about what happened yesterday and generally why the residents of Suame are this upset with the Honorable Minister for Parliamentary Affairs.
All right, thank you very much. Once again, I greet you on your panel. Not quite long ago, Suame residents triggered themselves. Yeah. I always have been saying this. Whenever there is such a disturbance or such kind of coercion system, you first have to check what the causes may be. Suame has been in a mess for a very long while, for about 15 to 16 years. Not even a single development has been done in Suame. Suame Magazine is a group of industries. As far as I'm concerned, in West Africa, the biggest group of automobile industries that we can have there. Not even a single fire tender to fight fire. Not even a single hospital to hawk in injured people from the industry. Come to think of it. Not even a conveying ambulance to help us convey injured or sick people to the nearest hospital. 2016 election, there was a third construction hospital in Suame Magazine, down Matthias Junction. I was an eyewitness. While the masons were working, the painter was also painting. It was even raining. All because Baumia and Kyei-Mensah is coming to see the commission and the third captain of this hospital. As the masons were plastering the walls, the painter was also painting at the same time. After the elections, everything stopped. You can visit Suame Magazine and go and check that hospital. We all praise them for doing that for us. As I'm telling you now, that construction is at hold where it was after the election.
Is the hospital in use at all?
No.
It hasn't been finished? The construction hasn't been finished?
It's been halted. Once they visit the place during the campaign season, it's been halted.
Okay.
Let's do that aside. This triggering thing came from the road construction.
Yeah.
In fact, our road network at Suame wasn't in the perfect condition for us, yes. But at least it was far more better than what they left us some few months ago. The roads were having some small potholes, but we were managing it ourselves.
Yeah.
Lo and behold, the contractor came and then casted the road, left it in a very poor condition, put some gravels on it and left. As it continued raining, we get big potholes that around here and there, trucks with charcoal falling off, trucks with cashews falling off the street. Even last Thursday, somebody nearly got wounded. A woman carrying rice, walking along the roadside, a truck full of charcoal fell off
and they nearly got killed by it. So we came to ourselves and okay, if that is the case, let's put our alarm before. So I think on Friday, we were on the roadside, we stood at the roadside. We have shops down along the road. We saw a V8 suspected to be a ministerial convoy or whatsoever V8 using the wrong route. One side of the route has been condemned. So he was on a tall street on the other side of the route, which is good. A little bit good, that's what I would say. They stopped in on the road, and then one guy came to the road and said, "Tell the Laputa to turn back and use the correct route instead of using the wrong route." So the policeman came down, was trying to call up the guy off the street, off the road, and then it triggered the people to say, "What are you trying to tell us here? Is it because you are MP or a minister, you want to use the better road, whilst you leave the other one condemned for us?" So boys here and there jumped onto the road and started making noise. So unfortunate, the policeman with I don't know, that diplomatic person could be, he turned around and then he left. And then it triggered a demonstration. Immediately, the original police commander, us together with some people, and then the divisional commander with the district commander and some few police personnel came in. They handled the situation very, very well. In fact, no police personnel misbehaved because the citizens and the indigents were ready to fight back. Because they outnumbered the police members over there. So they realized that things will get out if they don't calm the situation down. So the original police commander came and talked to us and promised that he had talked to the Outreach Community Council as well as the highway authorities, and they have assured us that the road will be constructed in 2 days, of which counts to Sunday. So Sunday, we didn't see it on the road because we weren't at work. But on Monday morning, the road was still like that. In the morning, we heard from Angel News and those kind of things that Kyei-Mensah is addressing the issue over there. We just paid deaf ear to it because he told us personally that he doesn't construct roads as an entity. So the people were saying, okay, if that is the case, we have our own rate and means to get our road constructed or brought back to each state. Only for us to wake up in the morning around 10:15, we saw Kyei-Mensah with the media men addressing them. So we personally rushed to the scene and then asked him why, and then he was, convincing us that the road will be constructed. They have said, okay, if that be the case, we are okay. We are done. And then he later started working on foot with his party executives and some few assembly members. There was hooting here and there. Who. So I thought in my mind that the Honorable should just turn back the book. He didn't listen. The few people around Marcia Johnson are gentle, yes, because most of them are a little bit educated. But down there, Akwa Johnson, where he got the mess, is full of full-blooded illiterate men who are hungry.
Wow.
That was where he turned into a coa. They hooked him, they thrown water to him and those kind of things. And it was getting out of mess. So the police came in again. So later I saw the police regional commander with the vehicle coming there. They conveyed him to a storage building up there and locked him for a while to calm situations down. So it wasn't getting better. About 2 hours, he was still outside there and the people were willing to tear him to pieces. I'm telling you this. The people are really angry because they've been lied to on several occasions. If Kyei-Mensah should set foot there today, I don't think his body will be found. Not him alone.
Is it that serious?
I'm telling you the whole truth. People are still gathering themselves, organizing themselves, and waiting for the next person to step foot there again. Unless they push Suame into its best condition and conduce atmosphere for economic reasons and social reasons.
Okay,
right. Never willing to let it go unless they put it to the right place.
Kofi, just a quick question. Now, how recent is this, should we say, disdain for or anger towards your MP? He just won an election just a couple of years ago, right? And he's been your MP for
26 years.
Over 26 years. So where did the transition come from him being a favorite son of the land to now all of a sudden this kind of anger and vitriol against him?
Let's not forget of this. I'm not telling it, so let's not forget of this. Cameron Kuma said this. Change when it is denied or too much delayed, violence will rise here and there. Not that the people willed or planned it, but their accumulated grievances will erupt like a volcanic flurry, and no one can stop it. This is what is happening. The indigenes of Suame have waited for a very long while until their MP and their leadership keeps on lying to them. They count no time, that now is the time to act. I'm telling you, if there is any convoy that will cross that road, it doesn't mean fake. That convoy should probably lead another route. Wow. It's a secret I'm giving you. If there is any ministerial convoy, presidential convoy, I'm not leaving anyone up behind, that plans to use that route without that road being constructed, they should plan using another different route, because those people will not let them pass. And so, another cohort. Kudos to the regional police commander. He did very well yesterday in controlling the crowd and maintaining peace at that end. If there was any little mess up from the police, you would have seen something else.
That's a good
Kudos
point.
to the regional police commander. He did very, very well.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu, thank you very much for giving us a resident's perspective of what's happening there on the ground. Very, very similar to the thoughts, Suame, you've expressed here, you know, earlier. Yeah.
The people's patience has run out.
Is it a case of government taking its quote-unquote stronghold for granted?
Well, I think it's a general feature in our society today. Maybe not government taking its. Really, government cannot decide to develop its stronghold at the expense of
the rest of the country.
The rest of the country, if you flip it. Yeah. But I think it's just our new exposure to information in real time.
Yeah.
The new exposure to information in real time is causing a certain level of boldness which we have not witnessed before.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, in times past, and I mean 20, 30 years ago, information is curated, crafted, and passed on to the citizens through traditional media.
Yeah.
Now, information it filters through us, and when it happens, through social media and word of mouth. And so people consume information differently.
Yeah. And it's raw.
And it's raw. And so in the process of consuming, we may make mistakes, but we are not, if like, sacrificing the real issues of development. And if politicians would listen, you know that these days you can't just say anything and get away with it. Because if I forget, social media will remind all of us. And this is what people are playing with.
Yeah.
That if 20 years ago, you used to wake up and gather people around and tell them to go and do endorsement somewhere, if you did it today, it's concert. We will laugh at you because we know you are lying. You get me?
Yeah.
In these political elections things, you come and pray, oh, these people have endorsed. Oh, boy.
It's true.
This is what we just saw in the elections.
Yeah, exactly.
Because information is available to any and everybody.
Yeah.
All they need is a phone.
Yeah.
And they are good to go. So how we relate with our electorates and our society should take a major shift.
Yeah.
And it has to be real time. Because the programming has changed. It has to be real time. We don't have all the resources, but they are our people.
Yeah.
Okay? At times, you see the convoy run through some of these villages, and you ask whether they are from Mars.
Yeah.
Don't you just see that Krumha Amoya? It's not going to go away. Amoya is with us. I don't know how to say Amoya in English. Amoya. So whether justifiably or not,
Yeah.
But don't play into it. But that's what politicians do. Suame magazine. I mean, it's a huge opportunity for any government.
Yeah.
And I say huge because, like the guy was talking about, it's is a place for everybody.
Yes.
Every kind of trade. And somebody says that if you don't know magazine, just look at the way Aboseo Kyei. You know, Aboseo Kyei is mostly trading as in selling of parts.
Yeah.
Now, magazine is trading and selling of parts, molding and welding, creating the parts.
Yeah.
So there's a technical bit to it, you know. It's a whole industry that politicians could have taken advantage to upgrade it to the next level.
Yeah.
Bridge it with our polytechnics and technical institutions to help formalize it.
Yeah.
But everybody comes, rather take their votes and then go and sleep in Accra.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully, the national security would have picked this thing up even before it happened. If they didn't, then it's another negative for the government. And mind you, because of social media, citizens are watching and observing how protests are being done in different parts of the country. If we don't take care, there's going to be an explosion of protests which might be difficult to handle.
Yeah.
So this Suame thing should not be seen as an Kyei-Mensah-Bonsu problem.
Yeah.
It's a national problem. It's a national disaster waiting to exhale. If we don't attend to it properly, there's going to come a time that it will go out of hand.
Well, we definitely can't exhaust this conversation right here. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. We'll come back and then there's more.